There's a saying that a person is the sum of the five closest people they spend the most time with. Now, for most people, that's friends and family. So let's take family out of the equation because we can't control that. Let's talk about friends in this video. Specifically, let's talk about junk friends. All right, I'm going to use a junk food analogy, and specifically, I'm going to talk about Chinese food because we all love it. We've all had it. We all know about it. Okay. So imagine you're sitting there absolutely hoovering this container of lo mein, right? And in the moment, it tastes so good. It's just checking all the boxes, right? Salty, fatty, all that stuff. And like 30 minutes later, though, you're hungry again. And it's like you didn't eat anything, which is mind boggling because you know that you literally have this whole container of lo mein inside of you still. You know, it didn't come out yet. So, how can that be? How can you have eaten and indulged so much and still need more to eat? So, then what do? Okay, well, that was super salty. So, maybe I need something sweet. So, then you hit the sweets, ice cream, whatever, etc. You kind of go down this little spiral, this little rabbit hole. The next morning, you wake up, you're hungry again. Shocking, right? You step on the scale and you're like, what in the fuck is going on? You're up like 5 pounds, right? So your diet got blown to smithereens. Your weight went up. You feel bloated. You feel essentially like you just wasted your time and your money on that Chinese food, and you know you shouldn't have, but you did. So that is very similar to junk friendships. Let me explain. So some friendships seem very fun on the surface, right? When you go out to the bar with your friends, you have some drinks, you're all having fun, you're all laughing, etc. But you go home and you immediately feel lonely again. You're like, how did that happen? I just went out with like six different people. We went to eight different bars. We are all laughing, etc. And you come home and you feel unfulfilled. You feel like you didn't hang out with anybody at all. Like, yes, you were in a room full of people, but there was no connection. It's the same thing as junk food, right? In the moment, it feels good and it feels like what you need. But shortly afterwards, you realize you feel worse for it and unfulfilled. These are not the kind of friendships that anybody wants. We all want the meaningful friendships. We want to go out, we want to connect. We want somebody to know our backstory. We want a group of friends, preferably. We want them to know when we're having an off day and say, "Hey, man, what's going on?" What we don't want is a friend that notices you got something going on, doesn't ask you how you're doing, just goes, "Yeah, bro, you need a drink." That doesn't solve any of your problems. You dump out, I just put out a video on this. You dump alcohol on a bad problem, it stays bad, right? So the same thing, except you didn't even get to take advantage of the friendship and vent and talk to somebody and bounce ideas off somebody, have them actually care about the outcome and tell you, hey, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, man. I think you should do this instead, etc. That's what a meaningful friendship is. If you can feel lonely standing in a room full of people that you call your friends, they are junk friends. Okay. Once in a while's fine, but they're not doing anything for you. They're not helping you. They're not pushing you forward. They don't give a shit. Right. If you don't come out that night, other people are coming out that night. They're not going, hey, what happened to so and so? What's going on? Maybe we should check on them. They're just like, hey, crew's here. Most of the crew's here. Let's keep on partying. Keep the good times rolling. I would go so far as to say that junk friends are harder to identify than bad friends because it's a little bit more disguised, right? They invite you out, they don't ignore you. However, there's no connection other than you are here with the group to just have a good time. Just have a good time. Have a good time. Right. But when you look at that, what is have a good time? Majority of the time, it means drinking, which is fine. But if you were to take away drinking from these gatherings, how often do you hang out with these friends and not drink? Once you take that away, what do you do? Can you actually sit around and talk to them and have a good time without drinking? Because there's good friends and there's drinking buddies. And there is a huge difference. And I think that is one of the most difficult things. And I'll probably do a video specifically on that. But this is very similar in those terms. All right, so junk friends, how do we identify them? There's some signs to look out for. One of them is a lack of connection, right? If they don't really ever ask you like what you have going on, deeper than like what have you been up to? Oh, work. Oh, yeah. What you really have going on. Like if you hang out with them every weekend and they don't really know what your struggles are at the moment, they're not good friends. They're junk friends. They're just there for a good time. And you're just a body to fill out the group and make it seem like a larger group of people having a good time. Because the more people that are having a good time, the more good the good time seems, right? How much of your friendship with this junk friend revolves around social settings, going out and partying essentially, right? If you were to take away the party scene, maybe not go to the bar, maybe not go to the club, could you sit with them for just as much time and have meaningful conversation with them? Or would you be like, all right, I don't really know what else to talk about because I don't really know you? That's the key. If it feels like you're sitting down talking with somebody that you have a lot of shared experiences with, but feel like you don't know them and they don't know you on like a deeper level, that's a junk friend. Another thing is if they're not there when you need help, like you're broken down, you're moving out of a place, yeah, it sucks, but like maybe you need a little bit of money short term. If they're not there for you during those times, they just vanish like roaches when you flip the light on. That's junk friends. Now, like I said, I'm going to go into it in more depth in another video, and I'm going to compare good friends and drinking buddies because there is a huge difference. And I know when I was younger, I would have loved to have heard from somebody and had them tell me, hey, I know you think that person is your friend. They really are just looking for more people to drink with. They will not be there for you when you need them. I would have really appreciated that life lesson. So I'll definitely talk more about that in a future video. So again, if you feel like your friendship with a group or an individual is very much like that lo mein from the Chinese food restaurant, then I'm sorry to tell you, but you have a junk friend or a junk group of friends. If after you hang out, you immediately go home and you feel unfulfilled and like you didn't even do anything at all, or you actually feel worse, that's not good. Just like junk food is not good for your body every single day, a junk friendship is not good for your soul every single day. You need a counterbalance. It's okay to go have a good time with those people once in a while, but you need to set yourself up with a core group of friends, a safety net that'll be there for you no matter what, that'll listen to you no matter what, and that will give you no bullshit responses when you need advice. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Seth. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, drop a comment below. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that have had some junk friendships in their life. And if you have any lessons to pass on, I'm sure the viewers would really appreciate that. And speaking of appreciating, I think you'll appreciate this video right here. It's probably right up your alley.